Xbox has been absolutely on fire lately, and this week's Xbox Store deals are proof of that. From rare discounts on fan favourites to jaw-dropping prices on must-plays, our backlogs are about to get a whole lot bigger. And hey, who's complaining when the savings are this good? A quick reminder though, before we do dive in, every single week I do give away a free Xbox game to one of you lucky subscribers. All you need to do is just drop a comment below and I'll pick one of you in next week's sales video. A huge congratulations to last week's winner. Just reach out to me on our awesome Discord server and your game is waiting for you. Now with that out of the way, let's check out the absolute best bargains that you can grab on the Xbox Store for this week. First up, and at £12, we have Hogwarts Legacy, and this is one of the biggest deals on today's list, and that's down a massive 80%. This one though is set in the 1800s wizarding world, and it gives you the freedom to live your own magical journey. From learning spells and taming magical beasts, to exploring the sprawling castle and surrounding lands, it's every fan's dream come true. The sheer attention to detail here is utterly staggering as well, as every corridor and secret passage makes Hogwarts feel truly alive. Honestly, I really love the sense of discovery when you just stumble onto a hidden room or solve an ancient puzzle, and I do have to say, they absolutely nailed the combat as it's so fun and bloody engaging. Whether you want to fly across the countryside on your broomstick, or if you just want to lose hours mixing potions, this is the ultimate wizarding RPG. Puzzle fans, this next one is a true hidden gem. Railbound is a cozy yet brain-teasing indie where you connect train tracks to guide carriages back to their engines. What makes it shine though is how simple it seems at first, before the puzzles start bending your mind in clever and satisfying ways. Each level though feels like a little aha moment just waiting to happen, and the art style is charmingly wholesome, making the problem solving feel relaxing rather than pretty stressful. It's also perfect in rather short bursts, so it's ideal for winding down after a long session, especially if you've been battling democracy in Helldivers 2. The best part though, it's only £1.07 right now at 90% off. For half the price of a cup of coffee, you're getting dozens of smart relaxing puzzles that you'll keep coming back to. Triangle strategy really takes me straight back to the golden days of tactical RPGs, such as Final Fantasy Tactics, but with a modern twist, and I was so glad to see this arrive on Xbox within the past week. It is set in a land that's divided by war and political intrigue, and it looks to combine grid-based combat with tough story decisions that really do shape the fate of entire nations. What I really do love here though is how your choices actually matter. Stuff like alliances, betrayals and outcomes all really do hinge on the paths that you take. The striking HD 2D art style also makes every battlefield look like a living diorama, whilst the layered combat rewards careful planning. Normally the game can get pretty pricey, however due to us getting a launch discount on our Xbox consoles, it's now only $34.99. For those of you who want deep strategy but mixed with meaningful storytelling, this is one to sink your time into. How often do you get to play as a shark? Well, Maneater really did flip the script, letting you wreak havoc as an evolving apex predator. In this one, you basically start really small, hunting fish and fending off threats, and that's before you grow into a colossal beast, terrorizing humans, boats, and even hunters armed to the teeth. It's part action RPG, part satire, and completely ridiculous in the best way possible. The tongue-in-cheek narrator really makes every mission really entertaining, while the upgrade system lets you trick out your shark with some pretty absurd powers. Honestly, I do love seeing the addition of the little Easter eggs as well, and yes, you may encounter a pineapple under the sea. At just £6.69 is one of the most unique open world experiences out there. It is still on Xbox Game Pass currently, but if you do want to own the game or you don't have a subscription, then this one is a great grab. This next game is easily a hidden gem on our Xbox consoles, and I know for a fact that 99% of you have probably never heard of this game before. Curse of the Sea Rats is a Ratroidvania. Yes, you did hear that right. This hand-drawn Metroidvania casts you as heroes cursed into the form of rats, fighting to reclaim your human selves while navigating a sprawling non-linear world. The art direction, as you can probably see right now, is utterly gorgeous, and it's really reminiscent of Saturday morning cartoons, and all of that combat as well has that sort of tight mix of challenge and reward that Metroidvania fans like myself really do crave. Best of all, it supports co-op, so you can tackle bosses and explore with your friends. While not the steepest discount on this list, it's now down to just £10.19 at 40% off, and for a handcrafted indie with lots of charm, it feels well worth that price of admission. If you're a Potter fan who enjoys LEGO's light-hearted humour, this bundle that I'm highlighting today is a real treat. The LEGO Harry Potter collection does combine years 1 to 4 and years 5 to 7 into one complete package, really letting you relive the entire saga in brick form. The charm of the LEGO games really lies though in their blend of simple puzzles, goofy slapstick, and surprisingly faithful retelling of the entire story. I have to say that exploring Hogwarts in LEGO form is quite oddly satisfying, but it's a perfect couch co-op experience, especially for family or friends. At £4.24 is an easy recommendation, whether you're brand new to the series or just want some fun, family-friendly way to revisit Harry's journey. I'm usually a very big fan of LEGO games, as some of you may be aware, and this is easily one of the best LEGO games out on the market. Jedi Survivor really did expand everything that made Fallen Order such a standout experience, and with EA stating that there's more coming in the future from this IP, you need to experience this absolute masterpiece. Of course, Cal Kestis does return, but this time with a broader arsenal of different lightsaber stances, new traversal abilities, and sprawling worlds that feel alive with danger and secrets. The combat here is cinematic yet precise, giving that true Jedi power fantasy. The exploration on the other hand really does offer some great puzzles, hidden upgrades, and plenty of lore for you to uncover. Obviously, performance of this one at launch was pretty rocky, but with patches it's in far better shape nowadays. At £13.99 thanks to an 80% discount, this really is a must play for Star Wars fans, and one of the best single player action adventures that I've played in recent years. Next up, we have a charming pixel art adventure that looks to blend witty humour with surprisingly emotional storytelling. In what lies in the universe, you'll have to flip between parallel dimensions to solve puzzles, with each version of the world recontextualizing the last with clever twists. The tone is constantly shifting as well, as one moment laugh out loud funny, the next uncomfortably dark, which makes the narrative really stick. The platforming is also rather simple, but it does become incredibly effective, and it really keeps the focus though on that sharp writing and inventive mechanics. To be honest, for only £2.50, it's one of those sort of short, memorable indie journeys that really does sneak up on you. I did go into this one expecting a light-hearted romp, but I left this one pleasantly surprised and wanting to recommend it to you all. If you've ever enjoyed the Monster Hunter franchise but wanted a fresher twist, then Wild Hearts delivers that and slightly more. This one though is set in a beautifully reimagined feudal Japan, where you'll hunt massive beasts known as kimono, using both traditional weapons and unique karakuri constructs. These are some pretty awesome devices as well that you can summon mid-battle and are essentially to gain an advantage, and is one mechanic that I really loved from my time with this one. These gadgets really do open up some creative combat strategies, making each hunt feel incredibly dynamic. The monsters themselves though are breathtakingly designed, blending nature and fantasy in jaw-dropping ways. Normally it is a premium price title, but it's currently down to just £10.50 with 85% off, and it really does make that a steal for fans of core monster slaying. Halo Wars 2 really is a rare RTS spin on the legendary series, and it works bloody brilliantly. If you're unfamiliar with this one, you basically command UNSC forces against the Banished in a campaign that feels like a blockbuster Halo story. Yes, it is still complete though with all the cutscenes that's on par with the mainline games, and it actually follows the true Halo lore to a T. The RTS mechanics are streamlined enough as well for console play, but are still deep enough to keep battles tactical and very rewarding. Multiplayer skirmishes do also add some real replayability, letting you test different leaders with unique powers, and some players online are downright insane. Right now it's only £7.50, which is such excellent value, especially given the amount of campaign and multiplayer content included right out the gate. For Halo fans, this is a refreshing yet familiar take on a universe, and one that you certainly need to try. Sometimes you really do need something just pretty wholesome, and Clouzy fits that bill pretty perfectly. Think of it as part farming sim, part pet raising adventure, except your pets are adorable clouds. You'll essentially have to nurture, feed, and care for them whilst tending to plants and exploring colourful environments. The cozy atmosphere makes it such a perfect game for you to relax with, as it balances light puzzles and exploration with its cloud raising mechanics. It really doesn't demand much attention, but that's exactly why it's so blimmin' charming. At £3.59 with 70% off, it really is a low-cost way to add some cozy vibes to your Xbox library. It's great as well, especially if you enjoy games like Slime Rancher or Stardew Valley. If you enjoyed Deliver Us the Moon, its sequel Deliver Us Mars really builds on that narrative-driven, atmospheric sci-fi formula. In this one though, you take on the role of Kathy Johansson, an astronaut on a desperate mission to recover stolen colony ships and secure humanity's survival. The gameplay, as you're probably well aware from what you're seeing on screen now, looks to mix climbing, puzzle solving and exploration with some beautiful cinematic storytelling, and the haunting landscapes of Mars are both beautiful and isolating. The motion capture work is excellent and really gives the characters real emotional depth, making the story land harder than I really expected. Normally this one's priced much higher, but is now down to just £7.50. For fans of slower paced, story-rich space adventures, this one is a fantastic pick. At £1.59, thanks to a whopping 90% off, we have a real hidden gem, especially if you love choice-driven RPGs. The Last Oricru Final Cut puts you in a sci-fi fantasy world that's caught in a civil war, where every decision has a real impact on the factions around you. The combat here blends melee and magic with a Souls-like flavour, but what sets it apart is how your choices really matter, as you can ally with one side, betray them, or try to manipulate them both. The Final Cut version really does polish the overall experience though, with improved systems and visuals. However, it still isn't the prettiest game out there, and there are certainly a few bugs still within it. Even so, this is certainly worth grabbing, even just to experience its branching narrative paths, but don't go in expecting a masterpiece. There are still quite a few rough edges on this one, so definitely be warned when picking it up. This one is pure chaotic fun. Munchkin Quacked adapts the classic card game into a fast-paced dungeon crawler, where up to 4 players can compete to collect loot, defeat enemies, and most importantly, mess with each other. The humour is pretty constant in this one, with ridiculous weapons, silly monsters, and the infamous ducks that cause havoc in every single match. It's best enjoyed in co-op or versus mode with your friends, where betrayal and laughter really go hand in hand. It's at £4.20 after an 80% discount, and is such a great budget-friendly party game that'll spice up any game night. If you enjoy couch co-op multiplayer madness, then this one is a brilliant no-brainer. This medieval RPG is really unlike most others out there, and is grounded in such realism rather than fantasy. In Kingdom Come Deliverance, you play as Henry, a blacksmith's son that swept into the political turmoil of 15th century Bohemia. There's no magic here, combat is pretty skill-based and brutally authentic, really requiring timing and precision. The game also really emphasizes survival elements like hunger, stamina and reputation, making every choice incredibly meaningful. Its historical authenticity and huge open world make it such an immersive experience, especially for those of you who want a truly different RPG. This series is easily one of my favourite RPGs of the past decade, and after playing both Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2 for over 100 hours each, you're doing yourself a disservice by not playing these excellent experiences. So what game are you looking to dive into this week? You'll have to let me know down below. Do like this video if you did enjoy, and if we hit 1000 likes, I will give away a couple games in next week's video. Do subscribe as well for more Xbox content every single day, and whilst here, why don't you check out the video on screen now? I covered the 12 brand new Xbox and Game Pass games coming out this week, and to see if any of them are really worth your time and money.